You know how it goes when you read those romance novels? I don't know why people complain about tropes. I love a good trope. I think it's perfectly reasonable that when people check into a hotel, the entire hotel, they book 2 rooms, but everything is sold out, and someone working the front desk, someone working reservations, decided that they were only going to book one of the rooms, and so they have to share a hotel room. I think that is something that probably happens to 1 out of 1 people in their daily lives. Like, who hasn't?
Ever happens.
No, the worst is, like, I read a book and I love this book. Okay, so this is not me dogging on this book, but the book was like, no, not only does this hotel not have any rooms, but all of the neighboring hotels, like, they're all booked out. I don't know if the fucking FIFA World Cup was in town, but everything was booked out, and so they had to share a room together. No, and I think that her room, you know what? I'm not even gonna go down that road, but I ate that book up. I loved it. I wanted them to do it. I wanted them to boink in that 1 bed trope, but they never do, because that's the whole point of the trope. Soulmates.
So what do they do?
There's just like trying not to boink. The whole time they're not boinking, they're just trying not to boink. And it's the trying not to boink that is hotter than boinking.
So what does that mean though?
What do you mean? What does that mean? They're trying not to boink, honey.
So what do they do?
Like, they're in bed and their fingers brush each other. Or like the AC is broken and it's blasting AC, so they're cold. And she's shivering and she's gonna get sick. She's gonna get sick, honey. And he's just like this huge hunk of mass that's just radiating heat. He's basically a furnace. And the only way to save her is to cuddle.
So good. Do they cuddle?
They do, but it's not like neither of them.
They don't want to.
They say they don't want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she's probably doing the butt thing, you know? So, like, just so you know, if I say I don't want to cuddle, but I'm doing the butt thing, I'm trying to cuddle. Yeah. That's one of my favorite tropes. I think soulmates
They're doing it in the butt? No.
What's wrong with you? No, you know the butt thing where you're cuddling and my butt just happens to perfectly land on your private parts. And it's sticking out in an unnatural curve.
I see.
Because when have I ever laid down like that? When have I ever stood like that? I'm not built like that, right? But the butt thing, I like that one. I also think soulmates are overrated. I think the idea that there's only one person out for you in this world is just unfeasible, unrealistic.
Why choose?
No, I don't really like why choose. However, fated mates. They're not soulmates. It's different. Okay, soulmates, you meet them and you're like, this is the love of my life. I don't like that. I want them to fucking hate each other. I want them to despise each other. I want them to go to hell and back and then decide, you know what? After I boinked you a little bit, you're kind of hot. And I think we're fated mates. Like, fated mates is so good. It's so good. That's not the point of today's video. I mean, I'm just talking about romance books because there is a man in China right now. No, I'm just kidding. That everyone is saying, you know, no one really lives up to these romance novels' main male characters. However, this guy might. Like, he might burn an entire kingdom down to be with his girl. Like, he might do that. He's got, like, a vibe to him. He walks like it's heavy, they say. Talking about my husband. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. But unfortunately, I'm not talking about him today. But in the realistic setting, it doesn't make any sense. Have you looked at what mafia bosses look like? Have you looked at who ran like the Gambino crime family? They're not unattractive, but they're There's something, okay? There's something to look at. There's something to look at. Like, you really have to have a lot of complex thoughts to make it work in your head. They're definitely the people that you wouldn't even show the picture to your friends. They haven't even made it to the threshold of like, no, but they're so much cuter in real life. You wouldn't even show the goddamn picture because you know that your friends will never let you live it down. That's it. And if you scroll through Book Talk, if you run through the most foundational romance tropes, you will see the pattern everywhere. And in China, I think it started in China and now it's come over to the US, but they call it like the formula for boys.
What?
Okay, it's the triangle for boys. So there's three, it's a triangle, has three sides.
高富帅, right? Like tall, rich, handsome? Or no?
No.
Oh.
It's handsome, rich, and loyal. The theory is that one man cannot have all three. If he is handsome and rich, he is not loyal.
Damn.
If he's rich and loyal, he's not handsome. If he is loyal and handsome, he's not rich. So if you go further, and then they say, you know, sometimes you will come across somebody, and this is what Chinese netizens say, don't blame me, don't shoot the messenger, what have I done to you, okay? I'm just over here reading smut, what have I ever done, okay? If he's rich, handsome, and loyal, they write in the middle, he's gay. So, like, we're just fucked, okay? Chinese netizens on TikTok are giving life lessons with this triangle. However, recently, this year, people in China have been saying, I think there is a couple, I think there is a man that has broken the impossible triangle. He has broken the curse. He is the High Lord, the curse breaker, the fated mate, and he has ruled. He has burned down the kingdom, and he has broken the curse of the triangle. Oof. Oh yeah, they recently got married and their wedding was all over social media, and even Vogue reported on their wedding and the fashion. The two that I'm talking about are Mario Ho and Ming. I'm obsessed with them. Okay, so among Chinese celebrities, public figures, a few of their, like, a lot of people's weddings have been dubbed the wedding of the century. That's what people like because it's so grand. It's so extravagant. For example, Angelababy and Huang Xiaoming's wedding reportedly cost like $300 million. Jay Chou's wedding was in England, reportedly cost around like $150 million. At some point, you lose the concept of money. At some point, I'm like, that's it? that's all you got, Jay Chou? No, I'm kidding. Because what does that even mean? What do you mean $150 million? I thought Jeff Bezos' wedding was $150 million. Yeah. This like behooves me, okay?
Oh my God. What about the Ambani?
Yeah. Oh my God.
How much was that?
Can you look it up? That was a fucking insane wedding.
Reportedly $600 million to $1 billion.
Oh my God. That's it? No, I'm just kidding. Okay, and just recently, on June 1st of 2026, Mario and Ming Xi's wedding was added to this extraordinary category. But before we even get into their wedding, how much they spent, why people are so hyped about this wedding, I'm gonna tell you about who they are and why they are my new favorite couple. Like, maybe they are one of China's favorite couples, but
that's when you found out about them.
No, so they made a feature in some of the other shows. Remember, they were on the other couples, and then they got married, and I was like, okay, now I really need to look into this. Yeah. And then I genuinely went into this, and I'm like,
Wait, can you tell people a little bit about the weddings?
Okay, they got married in this crazy like palace in France where they have not had a wedding in like I think 150 years or something crazy like that.
It was just like the most like stunning.
And it's like it's not even just stunning in the sense of like, you know how when sometimes like these filthy rich, disgustingly dripping with money, like yeah, and then you see their wedding and you're like, ugh. Not to judge, but I could have done better than that. With that kind of money, with that kind of resources, this is what you're feeding us? Disgusting. We're gonna eat you. Eat the rich. But then they had a wedding where it was like, it was a fairy tale. It was so beautiful. And she looked so good. And she had so many different dresses. And I went into this research. So Ming Xi, she's like a famous model. Mario is Mario. And I went into this and I'm like, you're not going to ever make me like Mario. Like, no one will ever be good enough for Ming Xi. Do I know anything about Ming Xi? Not much.
Mario and Luigi, huh?
Luigi, who I only know one. Wait, that's crazy, Luigi. Yeah. Mario was never going to be good enough. That's just how it is. You know, I don't know the first thing about Ming Xi, but I know she's beautiful. I know she's stunning. I loved when she was walking on the Victoria's Secret fashion show and the fall. Anyway, no one was going to be good enough. And then I started researching it and I was like, fine, Mario. You can have her. Fine. Just keep doing it, okay?
Wait, are
just
they
keep.
fated mate? Is that what you're saying, or?
I wouldn't say
fated
they're.
mate is what? Enemies to lovers? What is
Fated
that?
mates is just, it's in their fate. And usually there's a lot of things that are standing in their way, obstacles, whether it be they hate each other, they want different things, they're from like rival kingdoms, or they're on opposing sides. Like maybe he is no, or sometimes he's like the heir of the kingdom and she is, you know, one of the people in the rebellion that's trying to take him down. But then they meet and then they're fated mates. And things get complicated. I don't know if I would go as far to say that they're fated mates, but I would say she definitely didn't like him. It wasn't love at first sight.
Really?
She definitely wasn't like, oh my God, Mario. In fact, there's like this really awkward televised show. We're going to get into it. But she just looks at him like he is a piece of toilet paper on her shoe. And she's just like,
What?
I don't care that you're one of the richest heirs in China. You're just kind of a weird... She called him an alien. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went into it, but... You know what, Mario? Keep it up. We're watching you, but fine. You can be good enough today. Oh, but more on their wedding. I'm sorry. I think it was like 1,000 years that no one had gotten married there. It was crazy. The amount of flowers they had 200 guests. Most of them were all really close friends and family. And some of their guests were other people that I really like, okay? They had Eileen Gu there, 3-time Olympic gold medalist. Jackson Wang was there. He was the best man. Josh Lauder, who is the fourth...
Jackson Wang is everywhere.
Yeah, no, that man
like
is...
every episode, there's Jackson Wang and Wang Sitong.
Yes. Okay, Wang Sitong is not here today in this episode, but Jackson Wang is. So I feel like they're both very busy. Like, both of them have to be everywhere, and I think they need to, like, split up their errands. They're like, you go here, I'll go here. Are they friends?
The circle is way too small. There's like 5 people in China.
In the Chinaverse. There's like 1 billion people in China, but okay. And Josh Lauder was there. He is the 4th heir to Estee Lauder. Estee Lauder. He was one of the groomsmen, and many other heirs and heirs from large businesses all around the world were there. The wedding reportedly cost around 30 million, so it's very conservative. And I like that, you know? First of all, I like that. That's it. Like, I like that. Like, show me something $30 million, and I go, that's pretty affordable. That's crazy. No, but I'm saying in this
really
sense
good
of,
for
that's what I'm saying.
30.
That's what I'm saying. It looks so much better than Bezos Santa's wedding.
Yeah, because if Angela Baby's was like 300 million.
And I did not like that wedding. I love Angela Baby.
I feel like this one felt a little more
personal.
Yeah, more effortless.
Yeah, it just felt very them.
Look at us, just
critiquing weddings like we fucking know something.
This castle is a little better, you know.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like it was a bit more affordable financially, you know, more respectable. Ming wore a total of 7 different looks. She had 2 pre-wedding outfits, one for the welcome party, one for getting ready, one for the main ceremony, one for the wedding dinner, and then another for the after party. The Graf diamond jewelry on Ming was essentially a walking luxury exhibition. She was walking around like the entire store was on top of her. The full set weighed over 100 carats total with an estimated value of $7.2 million worth of diamonds. She had on a pair of 30 carat snowflake diamond earrings, 66 carat diamond encrusted bracelet, and a 7.1 carat engagement ring. Her wedding dress was custom made by Dior, and it took around 600 hours to make. For the venue, there were some reports that the venue itself was like $11 million, and they had to import fresh flowers. Some claim that about 3,000 bundles of imported pink peonies were used, and each singular like pink peony, they were saying it was around $14 to get it there, like transport, keeping them fresh, and then setting it up. Food, drinks, Mingxi and Mario also chose 2 of their favorite wines from the region to serve all their guests at the reception. And a bottle of that can go anywhere from $3,000 to $17,000, depending on the year. So it starts at $3,000. And they also had champagne. They also had the welcome dinner, which was seafood towers, summer truffles. I mean, it was decadent, but not trashy. It was just so good. It was so good. For the guests, Mario covered their round trip airfare for approximately like 200 people, accommodation at a century-old French estate hotel, wedding favors. I think the wedding favors alone was just $1 million or something. They also hired one of the most world-renowned wedding photographers. Vogue named him like the world's top wedding photographer. He shot 4 of the 18 most luxurious weddings. He's like featured everywhere. He did the photography for Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber's wedding, Paris Hilton's wedding. I'm just in awe. Like, I'm obsessed with them, okay? So this time, their wedding and relationship were trending for something very fancy and luxurious. So on a global scale, everyone looked at these pictures in Vogue and they were like, this is fucking fairy tale, okay? They are creatures. They're not even humans. They're like goddesses, okay? Like what's even happening right now? They're basically the equivalent of fae, and we're just mere mortals staring up at them. However, Chinese netizens said, y'all don't know ball. Y'all don't know ball. Here's why we like Ming, and here's why we like her with Mario. It's not because they're so fancy, they're so schmancy. It's because they're fucking cornball goofballs. They're so goofy. They're goofy. So their entire proposal, like you would imagine, if this is the wedding, the proposal is going to be that, but maybe like slash it in half. Maybe instead of peonies, it's roses, right? Be a little more economical. No, they had a Super Mario themed proposal. Everyone in China thought it was tacky, but they loved it. They're like, what kind of billionaire is proposing to a supermodel with Super Mario themed? It's a Super Mario theme.
So he dressed up as Mario.
Basically, okay?
Oh, and she's the princess.
Yeah, she's Princess Peach.
Oh my god, that's actually cute.
But she hated the nickname in the beginning. Like the whole thing. Oh. So then she became a star. Anyway, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get to all the nicknames, okay? And then they would go on national TV on these reality shows, and they just had a string of absolutely redonkulous moments. And it's like, you know, when you read a romance book and it's like dark light. So he's like morally gray, but then he's kind of goofy. And then you're like, okay, fine. That's what's happening.
What's dark light?
It's dark romance, but light version. So there's like dark romance where it's like, if this was not in a book, this would be a crime.
Right.
You should be in jail. You should be thrown in prison. Dark light is like spank me daddy. Yeah, no, right? So like
not
but then
that serious.
Yeah, not that serious. Not saying that this is what they're doing, obviously, but I'm saying like even in these dark light romance books where they're all like brooding and billionaires and cool, they have these goofy moments in private, and then you just start kicking your feet while you're reading the book because you're like, oh my god, look at this mafia boss wearing a pink tiara because someone thought it was cute on him, and it's just like, it's cute. That's what's happening, okay? Now, some of you guys know Ming. She walked for Victoria's Secret from 2013 to 2018. She's probably like the most notable East Asian in Victoria's Secret. Like, I feel like her face to me is just burned into Victoria's Secret. I think of her when I think of Victoria's Secret amongst like 5 other people. But I will say she started gaining a lot of attention in 2017 because she fell during the runway show, which was held in Shanghai, China. And that was a particularly notable moment because it was Victoria's Secret's first ever show in any Asian country, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and it's in Ming Shi's hometown. And her heel got caught in the fabric. She fell to her knees, but rather than edit the fall out of the fucking broadcast, because they did it twice, it's not live. They walk the runway twice. The whole runway show is done twice so they can get all the angles, and they pick and choose what to put in, and they still kept her fucking fall in. People thought it was super shady because why would you do that? And then I think a bunch of incels were getting mad at her for, I don't know, shaming the country. Fucking incels, okay? But most people were on her side because, well, first of all, why'd you keep the fall in? And second of all, she fell? Like, what is there to, like, what? Yeah, and then she got back up.
I remember it was huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
A lot of people were blaming her, though.
Yeah.
At that time.
I think they're incels, okay? Yeah. Because, like, what do you mean? You're mad at someone for tripping and falling? What's wrong with you? But she gets back up, and a lot of people were on her side as well because they're just confused by why they're trying to shame her. It did just go viral, though. It just pushed her into the spotlight in a very huge way. After her fall, she even had to apologize on social media. She said that was probably one of the hardest moments I had to go through during my entire career. She said it was in front of her mom and all of her family because it was in her hometown, but she is thankful for all the support. And she handled the whole situation really gracefully. And on TikTok, a lot of people were saying that despite her embarrassing fall on Victoria's Secret, there was a silver lining because this fall would kickstart a series of events where she would meet the love of her life. Okay? And everyone in China is like, that's actually crazy.
That's
like,
actually just like the books. No?
Yes!
Starts with some traumatic life event.
It's so good. So I wouldn't say it's as easy as he goes online and he sees this all over trending on Weibo and then he's like, you know what? I want to meet this girl. It's not like that, but kind of.
Really?
Yeah. So the saying, born with a silver spoon in your mouth, probably is not enough to fit Mario. He is born with a fucking diamond spoon in his mouth. Just to give you an idea of how rich he is, he's the co-owner of the Boston Celtics.
Huh? What's Boston Celtic?
I can't tell you what sport it is, but it's a sports team in Boston. Okay. I think it's basketball. They definitely do something with a bunch of guys sweating, trying to touch the ball. Like, I know yeah. So you pick and choose which one it is, and you tell me what the Boston Celtics are. But he's the co-owner. He joined the team's managing board in 2025 as part of an investor group led by private equity executive William Chisholm, who acquired the franchise, I think, for like $6.1 billion. None of this makes sense. I also don't understand, like, what do you mean you own the sports team? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. None of that has ever conceptually made sense in my head, especially like when you own an esports team. I'm like, do you like own these individuals? Are they like in the fucking sweatshop practicing League of Legends? Like, what do you mean you own the team?
Exactly what happened.
Okay. This is a side hobby for him, by the way. It's not like his job. He's just like, let me just buy a part of it and be a stakeholder. He's also the only Chinese investor in the group, and at 30 years old, I believe he is.
Wait, hold on. His parents are filthy rich. I mean, I think he's definitely doing great, but
yes, but he's not self-made at 30. Yeah,
self-made.
Yeah,
but I think more importantly than that, like, he's an actual genius. Like,
yes, he's smart.
Very, very smart. That's impressive.
Yeah. Now you might be wondering, what do his parents do? Are they single? If you were to guess what rich people do, I feel like the first thing is like, I'm in private equity. I'm a hedge fund. Blah, blah, blah. Something fucking Goldman Sachs. Some bullshit. But no. This is like really crazy. They own casinos. Mario is the heir to the world's largest. This is a dark romance.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mario Ho is the heir to the world's largest gambling hub in Macau. He's basically the son of Macau. To give you a perspective, that's like saying he's the son of Vegas. Cue the lights. Cue the lights. You know? What? He's the son of Stanley Ho, who is known as the Godfather, the king of gambling. Their family owns the SJM Holdings Limited, which controls about 19 to 22 of Macau's casinos. Key properties are Grand Lisboa, Hotel Lisboa. They have like a new palace. I don't know, okay? But they used to have a government-granted monopoly on gambling for 40 years in Macau, from 1961 to 2001. And even after the monopoly ended in 2001, they still maintained the largest gambling market share in Macau. At the peak in the 90s, the casinos handled about, I think, like $170 billion in annual bets. So that's not revenue, but bets. That's crazy. They own and control, at one point, the majority of gambling and casino operations in Macau. And Macau is also a lot bigger than Vegas, just to give you an idea. It's like huge. I think on an average month, they do about a double what Vegas does, just Macau, the city itself. Just to give you like a random statistic, in October of 2024, Las Vegas, Nevada had, I think they were doing like 1.29 billion for that month. Macau was doing like 2.57 billion. So, I mean, you can just imagine. They're filthy rich. They're rich. And usually in the real world, we're not really fans of millionaires and billionaires because whatever, right? But everyone in China kind of loves Mario. Like, everyone in China tolerates Wang Sitong because they have to. They don't really have a choice. He's like the one that they got stuck with. But then everyone in China kind of like low-key loves Mario. They like him. He's not like the regular type of rich kid that just spends daddy's money and doesn't give a damn about life. He's like not just sitting back and doing nothing. And I'm not saying Wang Sitong does nothing. He does quite a lot, actually.
What do you mean? He's in every episode.
Yeah, he does a lot. I just don't know if the a lot is. Yeah, that's pretty much like, I feel like that's his main job. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But he's just, Mario is a breath of fresh air. When a rich second generation kid, especially a casino tycoon's heir, actually does something, it's kind of like Jackie, but Jackie's too goofy. Yeah. Jackie's a little too goof, okay? But Mario is trying a lot and he's doing a lot. He goes to MIT for college. He completed elementary school in Hong Kong, moves to the United Kingdom, finishes high school. Then he gets into MIT. He actually got offers from MIT, Stanford, and Cambridge University for math. Decides to go to MIT, and he started documenting, like he was WeChat momenting all of his undergrad moments, and like this billionaire heir is not living in a palace next to MIT, getting chauffeured to campus. He's just like in a fucking dorm room all 4 years, just studying nonstop.
Wasn't he the youngest graduate or something?
Yeah, okay. So he graduated in 3 years. Yeah, so
it was like a record, right? The youngest.
Yeah, it was. He's not just trying to like live off his parents' money and do nothing. He has a lot of ambition, drive. He lived a very humble life while he was attending MIT. He would post all of his moments on social media. He would sleep on the floor of his dorm, and people were like, this is like kind of interesting to see, because normally like these second generation rich kids, they get into these schools not because they're that smart, but because their family has a lot of money. And then when they get there, they're just like fucking hanging out, you know, and then you're like, I don't know what you're doing there. But he looked like he was putting in the work. He actually was the youngest person in MIT's history to be admitted to the finance program.
Right, that's what I
yeah.
I don't know, like was 16 or something?
No, 21. Yeah, so it was huge. And he started his own little, like he had these little business ventures he would do, and the offices were always these dingy closets that he and like 4 of his co-founders would be cramped into. Like he's just cosplaying at this point, and he's doing it well. Like his heart is in it. He's not just doing it for show. It looks like he's living the script. He's living by it. It's kind of cool. When he turns 22, his mom is like, I'm going to give you a gift, a 22-year-old birthday present.
OMG.
And I'm like, oh my God, what could it be, right?
I'm going to give you maybe half of Macau.
She said, you want to own this city? Which part do you want? You want the south end? She said, I'm going to give you my shipping management company that's valued at $738 million. And he said, nah. He said, it's okay.
I'll make it by myself.
Yeah, he said, I don't really want to go into the family business right now. I kind of want to prove to you guys that I can just do it outside by myself first. Like, how much do I really believe of this? I don't know, because billionaires really love a good propaganda. Like, the Bill Gates propaganda that has been shoved down our throats has been fucking insane. Like, actually phenomenal. Like, this billionaire paraded around. Let me be careful with my words. This billionaire is walking around for God knows how long, and everyone would associate him with the word philanthropist. And then we realized he's just a philanderer that's cheating on his wife and going places he shouldn't be fucking going. That's all I'll say about that. Okay, so I'm just saying, billionaires do have propaganda machines. They have marketing machines that are, they're really good. So I don't know how much of this is true, but he told him, Mommy, no, I need to make it on my own. I need to prove to myself that I can do it. I don't need your money, but I do want you to help me buy the Boston Celtics. However, don't give me any of that. Okay, I don't know. But after graduating, he moves to Shanghai. He rents this tiny little office. He starts Ninjas in Pajamas. Huh? Listen.
What is that? He sells pajamas? What is
that? Ninjas in Pajamas. They actually, they did list in the NASDAQ. Yeah, they're still around. And guess who's one of the partners at Ninjas in Pajamas?
Wang Sitong.
Jackson Wang.
I see.
And Ninjas
Well, what do
in
they do?
Pajamas is an esports.
Ah.
So they have a sweatshop of esports players right now as we speak, fucking gaming. I don't know if that's true, by the way. That's all alleged. I don't think it's a sweatshop. I think they live cushiony lives. Just kidding. I think they get whipped. I think they're down there and Jackson Wang is whipping them around. Just kidding. I'm
No,
kidding.
that's dark. That's a light dark.
You're right. So, I genuinely don't understand how you can own an esports team. The two of them are really, really close, like I said. But one time there's a really funny moment. There's Jackson Wang and Mario are sitting there and they're at one of like these esports competitions and they're just sitting there like, you know how they have the VIP session at FIFA World Cup and you're like, who are these fucking people? And like, why do we keep cutting to them? What's going on, right?
Yeah.
So they're basically like that. They're just sitting there and they're being so cool, calm, and collected. And they've got these face masks on and they put down the face masks and they're both eating chicken drumsticks. And the camera pans to them and they're on the Jumbotron. They're on the Jumbotron eating chicken drumsticks. And like, what is their reaction? Like, what is any celebrity's reaction when they're on the Jumbotron? Some of them look down at their phone and try to play it cool until it moves away from them. Some of them, I guess, give a little wave, right? They stare at each other and they slowly pull up their face masks. Okay. Like, what are they? Two of them also speak English, Cantonese, and Mandarin when conversing, so it makes a lot of sense why they're good friends. Even in reality shows, when Mario has to call someone for like a task, he'll choose to call Jackson Wang. There was once when Mario and Ming were playing a game on a variety show where they had to do a challenge. They had to call a friend. And like, you know how in these challenges you have to call a friend and make them say a specific phrase without guiding them to say the specific phrase? Like, you can't call and say, hey, say, quote, you guys are a match made in heaven. So this is when he's already dating Ming, right? So they're like, you got to call. And he calls Jackson Wang. And a lot of people were thinking like, okay, you're going to call. And like, what's the best way to do it? You would probably be like, hey, what do you think of my relationship with Ming or something?
Is that what the challenge is?
Yes.
To make Jackson Wang say that exact phrase?
Yes.
Okay.
But Mario calls and he goes, hey, bro, where are you? And he's like, what? Where are you? I'm exercising. I'm playing ball. Can I take 3 minutes of your time? What's up? Recently, I've been thinking about me and Ming relationship, so I wanted to ask you, do you think we're a match or not a match? Huh? And everyone is like, what the kind of question is this? What kind of tactic is this? Ming is just shaking her head like she's already used to this guy's fuckery. Like she's already used to this shit.
I'm so sorry. What's the issue with what he said?
It's just so serious.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
so like baiting, right? But then like it would have been easier to just ask like, do you think we're perfect for each other? Then like someone would be like, oh yeah, you guys are a match made in heaven, right? But this is almost like
very analytical.
Yeah.
Like,
and so Jackson is like, he almost like goes quiet. And then he's like, what? You called me and you're asking me if you and your wife are a match? And he's like, are you out of your freaking mind? Mario doesn't say anything. It's just quiet. So then Jackson Wang is like, have you been drinking? Like he's so lost. And he's like, no. I'm awake. Which is like, what does that even mean? I was just looking at the stars and thinking about life. And he's like, match? What do you mean a match? Like, what do you mean by match or not a match? Right, but like, if we're a match, how matching are we? How matching? And then he's like, to what degree? And Jackson Wang is like, I think it's a match made in heaven.
Hello，
喂，兄弟喺邊啊？
覺得天生一對。
Oh, thanks, bro. Wow, that was really fast.
And he's like, got him. Okay, it was that
Wait,
easy. They
that's
won
actually
the
pretty-
challenge.
was that good? That was pretty good, no?
It was pretty smooth, yeah.
Wow.
And then he goes, okay, do you want to say hi? And then he's like not telling Jackson Wang much, right? So Jackson Wang is so confused. He's like, say hi to who? Say hi to who? And then Ming goes, hi. And Jackson Wang is like, who is that? Because he's like, why would you be asking me that in front of your wife? So he's really lost right now.
Yeah.
Like, who calls and asks, do you think my wife and I are a match? and the wife is sitting in the room. Like, what's
it's a
happening?
test. Yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, I'm literally losing my mind. Okay, that was the day Jackson Wang, I think, maybe contemplated their friendship for the first time. Probably. I would hope so, right? But it is cute. And a lot of people are impressed because Mario is very smart. So it would only be natural for him to join the very famous show in China called The Brain, where Water Bro dominated.
Okay, we gotta do one. We gotta do an episode on Water Bro.
Water Bro
It's
is
coming,
coming.
guys. Can we like
Come on, chat.
Put some pressure.
come on, chat? Do you guys want Water Bro? Water Bro came from this show called The Brain, and he's literally a genius. Like he can look at 100 peat tree dish.
No, it's a peach tree at this point, okay? There's no going back. You know those like peach tree dishes?
When I say genius, I'm talking about they looking at 100 peach tree dish of water.
Petri dishes
Yeah.
of water and be able to tell them apart.
Yeah.
He's a genius. Anyways, Mario was on that show too.
Yeah, Mario was on The Brain, okay? And you actually have to be super intelligent. You have to come from a top university. You have to have some sort of extreme talent to be on the show. And so Mario being on there, either it's rigged or he really is indeed that smart. I'm going to be a little skeptical, and I'm going to say it's probably somewhere in the middle because I'm just saying, okay? But anyway, all the contestants come onto the show and they get to reveal their notable achievements, reveal their rankings. So they rank you like 1 through 100. There's like 100 contestants. And then it starts
By
getting
their
narrowed
smartness?
down. Yeah. By their brain.
By their brain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Where do you think I'd rank?
You?
Why'd you look at me like that? The you?
I actually have never watched the show.
What the?
I've seen clips about Water Bro, but
It's actually interesting. I'm really good at I I can't believe I just with my full chest said I'm good. I think I'm good at pattern recognition in my day-to-day life. I'm very quick to pick up on patterns in my day-to-day life.
Okay.
However, when you give me patterns of numbers or any sort of like objective pattern recognition, I am probably the worst person.
But like IQ tests are basically pattern
I know.
finding and stuff.
I know.
And Water Bro famously said, like, what do you think about your IQ test and blah, blah, blah. He was like, what do you mean? IQ test is BS because it's something that the more tests you take, the smarter you can appear because it's the same type of testing. The more you take it, the more familiar you are. By default, your quote-unquote IQ is higher.
So it's not an accurate
yeah,
measurement.
it's
I
not.
see.
He's like, that's not really
I see.
anything.
The pattern recognition, it's basically all pattern recognition. I took one look at it and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I
So,
can't
like,
even.
IQ,
Yeah.
basically.
I cannot even understand the concept of what they're doing. It just didn't make any sense to me. Anyway, he goes on there. He's ranked number 7 out of 100, which is considered really good, but he looks a little bit upset by it. Yeah. And so they start doing all these different little puzzles and pattern bullshit, fuck shit. I don't know. These aren't the types of books I read. How am I supposed to know what they're doing? Read a book. I do.
Damn, you're skipping over the most
Interesting part. It's like when you like read a fantasy book and the first like part is like the maps. I can skip over it, right?
What?
And then I spend the rest of the book going,
God, if there was only something that could help me understand the layout of this kingdom so I know where everybody is going, that would be super helpful.
do I ever go back to the map? No. So that's what we're doing here, okay? They're doing some pattern recognition. They're doing lots of little challenges. You gotta complete some puzzles. Easy peasy. Could do it in my sleep. You gotta have really good observational skills. And then they do these like really difficult things where they're given a bunch of different shapes and then they have to fit and create this pattern that they see on screen. It's like, you know those like children's puzzles, but like on fucking methamphetamines. It's just so difficult. And then like the you have to stack them on top of each other, and then the minute you stack them or they overlap, they disappear, and then you have to remember where they were. I don't know. I can't even describe to you what's going on. They give you questions of like, which pattern is patterning the most? And you have to give them points on the patterns. And I'm like, is this just like an opinion piece? Like, what's going on? I don't even understand. I genuinely have no clue. I don't know what to tell you about this type of shit. Math patterns, pattern recognition is beyond me. Shapes, beyond me. Shapes fuck me up. Shapes. I think it's because I don't know how to do dimensions. I'm like notorious in the family. You open a package that I got and I'm always shocked at the size because I either thought it was 5 times larger or 10 times smaller. I don't understand dimensions. Anyway, he completes all these challenges and everyone is like, wow, he's beating the impossible triangle stereotype. He's so cool. You know, he's looking so smart. People were excited to see how far he's going to go. And finally, there was going to be a one-on-one matchup between him and another genius, another smarty pants, right? And so all of a sudden, Mario quits out of nowhere. He quits the show out of nowhere. And the MC, the host of the show, even makes the announcement. And he's like, well, actually, I was just told that he slipped in the shower and is suffering from a mild concussion, so he will not make it to the show.
Mario?
Yeah, and so people in the comments were like, okay, just coming up with more excuses. This excuse is so amazing. This is the birth of a great actor. I mean, really, we're just gonna fake it. So they thought they were hyping this up for this challenge, and then Mario got scared of going head to head with another genius, so he pulled out because he's a nepo baby at the end of the day. And like, you know, they don't really like to be tested like that. That's what people's narrative was. People are like, we know what you're doing, Mario. You will never guess the reason why he dropped out of the show. It's not a slip in the shower. He leaves the brain to immediately go on to another reality show that was filming because he found out the love of his life
Is on that one?
is gonna be on a dating show. So he fucking dropped out and went to go chase down who will be his future wife.
Crazy. Wait, is that why he's number 7 or is that?
No, that was when they're in the beginning.
Oh,
they're
7
ranked.
was in the
Yes.
beginning, I see.
So Mario, he goes on. Later, he does go on another like brain show where his wealth actually hindered his process. So after he goes on this
His
dating
what?
show, his wealth.
His money?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Let me give you an idea. So after he goes on the dating show, people are like, oh, that's why you left the brain, because you were chasing after Ming. But like, you know what? Understandable. We would do the same thing. Who wouldn't do that? But then he's like, you know what? I'm going to show people I'm smart again. So he goes on another Smarty Pants show. And then he gets eliminated because so they had like this little trivia night. So a lot of people were saying, you know how, my poverty limits my imagination.
Yes.
So that's like a thing in China where if someone is like, oh, here, I went to the store and I bought these really cool designer shoes, and here's what I did to hack the system and put a charm on it, and people will write like, my poverty limits my imagination. I didn't even know you could do such a thing, right? Because I can't even imagine, right? So he goes on there and his wealth limited his imagination because they start doing a trivia night, Q&A, and these people have to answer questions as fast as possible, and for all the hard questions he had no difficulty. They're asking like, what is the name of the space gravitational wave detection program initiated by Sun Yat-sen University? And he's like, the Tianchen Project. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Okay, I don't know any of this. He knows everything. What is the name of the world's first crewed spacecraft developed by a private company, SpaceX Dragon? Like, he's fucking naming all this space shit, the Queen's Guard shit, everything. He knows ancient Chinese history, everything. But then they hit him with the, what is the name of the ticket type that airlines offer where you can get a low discount by booking 2 to 4 weeks in advance?
That's crazy. There's no way they did that.
And the opponent said, early bird tickets. And Mario is looking, and the meme is a picture of him looking so, like, befuddled. He looks like something, like, he looks like his opponent just grew a second head. And the caption is like, I've never bought those types of tickets before. What type of drink is a Starbucks Frappuccino? Blended iced coffee.
Who said that?
The opponent. Mario's looking like, who even drinks Starbucks? I have a barista at home, a private barista, a Michelin-starred barista. I didn't know what that was. They're asking about the types of shrimp. And they're like, this is the type of shrimp. And Mario's looking like, I've never eaten cheap shrimp. I've only had like the really good ones, the big ones that are fresh caught. What's happening right now? He can't, you know what? What were we expecting? The guy doesn't even know the difference between scallions and celery. I'm going to get to that in a second. He thought the price of corn was 5 feet.
What is it?
He thought the price of corn was 5 feet. They were asking him, like, you want to know the price of corn? And he said 5 feet. Huh? And so, you know what? We're going to get there. But he's just, he's on something else. He's on something else. What brand's logo is this? They showed the logo, you know? And Mario's like,
Nestle. Nestle.
That was the only thing that he got right, okay? And so everyone in the comments was like, this is my first time feeling bad for people who answer correctly. Other people are saying he has a great brain, but
they're saying they feel bad for the people who answer correctly because they're broke.
Yeah.
Because if you're rich enough, you wouldn't be able to answer these questions.
Another comment says, he has a great brain, but this is clearly not his type of purchase. Yeah, yeah. Other people say when his future wife starts giving him a tour of the real world, he may become unstoppable. But until then, we can stop him. Other people are like screenshotting his face looking confused. And Mario's, it says caption, Mario, why are you asking me about trash? I don't collect garbage. He lost, but he actually won. People are saying he's lost because he's not poor enough? Question mark, question mark. People were just so confused that this could be happening. And people were saying, like, next time you want him to just fall into silence and you want him to shut his mouth, ask him what day the grocery stores start discounting the sushi. He'll be quiet. He'll be fucking quiet. You're not going to hear a single zip from this guy. Nothing. So he goes on this dating show. Now, I need to give you a little bit of preface first, right? When he first met Ming-Shi, he actually met Ming-Shi before he goes on the dating show through his sister. So Ming-Shi met his sister, and I guess a few of his siblings, he's got like 20 trillion siblings. They have like 16 siblings, okay?
Damn.
Yes, Stanley Ho, of course, gambling tycoon, had like 4 different wives. All of them had different children.
Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
he was really like trying to populate. He said China has 1 billion people. Let's make it 2 billion. He was really working hard.
But is that like part of the dark romance? Like,
yes, sibling rivalry is huge, but definitely not. Definitely you don't want to date the guy that has 16 kids.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
You want to date one of the heir.
The one that's trying to usurp the kingdom. He's the heir that like the dad really hates because he knows that he's the most powerful low key, but he won't say it. And so he babies the controllable heir. Anyway. You know, sometimes he acts like this. He acts like, oh, tell me more. I've never heard such a thing. But then sometimes at night we'll be in bed and he'll be like, tell me about the book you're reading. And then I'll be like, so basically she has this power and he has wings and he'll whip out his wings while they're doing it, while they're boinking. What was I saying? Oh yeah, they met through his sister. And I guess his sister didn't tell Ming-Shi who she is.
Oh, like she's rich.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I think Ming-Shi like doesn't care is the vibe that people get from her. Like she's not going around asking people, and like if they don't tell her, she doesn't ask. She's not asking other people like, who is that person? She just seems like she's kind of in her own world. So that was the vibe. They meet each other, and Ming-Shi thought that Mario was the unemployed, kind of sketchy little brother for her friend Sabrina that she just befriended. So she's like, oh, this is like kind of a weird family, but that's okay, right?
That's
yeah
wild.
yeah I think she knew that they were wealthy, but probably like you know, in your hometown you meet like wealthy kids, but they're not like billionaire kids usually. I mean, I don't know where you're from, right? I don't know what hometown you're from, but they're like, you know, kids of wealthy parents. They just kind of like lounge around. So they're very privileged in that sense, but they're not billionaire kids. So she thought they were kind of like that. They were like that. And later they're gonna talk about this in a different show, but he talks about how he starts pursuing her. So he meets Ming-Shi through his sister Sabrina, and he said that he started aggressively pursuing Ming-Shi, like just became obsessed. Constantly asked her if she wanted to go out on a date with him, like go out to dinner with him, right? And she brutally rejected him nonstop. Just nonstop. Wouldn't even give him the time of fucking day. Like wouldn't even look at this man. Nothing at all. Like he was yearning, he was fawning, he was rolling over onto his back showing his tummy, and she's just like, what are you doing? I don't want to share a meal with you. Like I don't understand. It was just so crazy. He didn't care about saving face. He didn't care about being like the egotistical billionaire boy. He wasn't like, do you know who I am? He was just like,
Can you please just go to dinner with me like one time?
and she's like, no. And because he would ask so frequently, it wasn't even just dinner. He's like, do you want me to take you to this amusement park? Like, do you want to, he was just trying to figure out what she liked. So it was like just taking shots in the dark. Like, do you want to go to the mall? Do you want to go to bowling? You want to go try horseback riding? Like, do you want to go do this? Do you want to go do this? Like, surely there's going to be something that she wants to do. And Ming-Shi on the same show, she tells everyone, like, at that time, I was really confused. Like, he just doesn't have a job. Like, all day, all he's doing is asking me to do things. Like, it just felt like he's a very unreliable person that has all this free time. And I just wasn't interested at all.
Are you broke?
Yeah, like, do you not have work? What are you doing? Go make some money. It's crazy. Yeah. And then Mario was like, yeah, you know, one time she even texted me, like, do you not have work or something? Like, do you never work? I'm confused. And so he realized, he thought, you know what? This is after weeks. He's like, I think I understand why she doesn't want to go to dinner with me. So I think he talked to his friends. So he grew up in the US and the UK most of his life, right? And he's not even that good at Mandarin. He's like, I think my whole strategy is wrong. So that's kind of how you do it in the US, right? But in China, maybe it's not like that. I think I have to woo her in different ways. Now, Ming-Shi later says, I just didn't want to go to dinner with him because I don't like to go to dinner with people. She explains that, like, when you go to dinner with a guy, it almost always feels like there's ulterior motives, which is so smart. She's like, I'd much rather, like, go to lunch or something. But anyway, he does this for 2 months. 2 months. She rejects him for 2 months straight. And then finally, she's like, you know what? If you really want to share a meal, I will go to lunch with you. Okay? That's it. I don't really want to go out at night with you, but I will have lunch with you. And apparently it didn't go well. I don't think it went badly, but like she was just like, I don't really know what's going on. Yeah. So then in 2018, there's this dating show called Mr. Right, Mr. Left. And it's supposed to show people from different age groups. So they're going to have these female contestants, guests, usually like celebrities, and they're going to spend time with 2 male guests. One of them is going to be someone much older than them, and one of them is going to be someone much younger than them. Not like much, but like, you know, a few years. And they're all of age, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's just going to be like an age gap dating show to see who you lean towards. Is it true that maybe some people like older guys because you feel safer and more like cared for and like the years of experience helps? Or is it better to date someone younger because you feel like their energy is contained? Like that's what they were saying. Like that's the whole point of this dating show and exploring these different potentials. She goes on that show and Mario's like, I gotta fucking get on that fucking show.
Is Mario younger?
Yes.
Oh.
So she goes and she walks down the red carpet because it's a surprise of if she's going to meet. So she has to answer a bunch of questions before. And I think it's going to lead her to either like the right young guy. Does that make sense? Like, I guess they're trying to match the people to the people. And so it's Mario.
She matched to Mario?
Yeah, but she doesn't know. So he's wearing an Iron Man mask and he's got balloons and someone's playing the violin and they decide that they're gonna start dancing together. Iron Man doesn't say a single word. So it's kind of like, it is really dark romance, okay? So they're dancing together and she's like very, oh, he even helps her. He has her change into these like flats so that she doesn't have to dance in heels because it's more difficult. And he's not saying a single word during all of this. So it's really tension building and romantic because like, what do you mean? And she can't see his face. They're slow dancing and you can tell like she's getting a little bit wooed. Like you can tell she's getting a little bit of butterflies.
And then he took off his mask.
Yeah, and then he's guiding her through this entire thing and then he says, hello. And she's like, hello, Iron Man.
Hi.
你好
你好
，Iron Man 你好。
And then he's like, do you know who's behind this mask? And she's like, is it Iron Man himself? And then he goes, okay. And so he's going to take off his mask, reveal who he is. And Ming-Shi is getting a little bit excited. She's getting the butterflies in her stomach because this is going to be one of her dates on the show. And the second he takes off his mask,
I knew it.
she's pissed. And even, like, she was so pissed that the editors couldn't even save it. So they had to just lean into it. It's just like laser shooting out of her eyes. Like, imagine talking to someone you assumed was jobless, unemployed, highly unreliable, and kind of keeps asking you to go on a date at night, which you think is creepy. You think night dates are creepy. And now he shows up as your date On like technically what is your job? You know what I mean? It's kind of stalker behavior. So she's pissed off, okay? She's speechless, she's pissed off. And Mario goes, hi, long time no see, you still remember me, right? And it's like, not the fucking time, Mario. Shut it. Okay? And so she literally is like, bye. And she's trying to leave.
No!
Yeah, but he's just looking at her so confused. He's like, what's wrong? And she's taking multiple steps away. And, you know, she's looking at him like, what the heck is going on? And he's just like gesturing to himself. And he's like, it's me. It's really me, Sabrina's younger brother.
Yeah, it's really me. Sabrina Didi.
Not the Sabrina's younger brother.
I know, like if she wasn't interested now, she's definitely not interested. Knowing that you're just like her friend's younger brother. Like, why did you have to make that so front and center? And she goes, okay, can you ask your sister to come pick you up, please?
Crazy.
And he's like, okay.
Wait, that's actually crazy.
No, but actually it's really me. So if you're disappointed, you can tell me. I mean, who's gonna say, yeah, I'm disappointed? But she's just like, you really should have told me about this. And he's like, if I told you, we wouldn't have had this entire surprise.
Oh my god. Wait, she still doesn't know his background, or she knows now?
No, kind of, not really. Like, she knows, but she's just not interested.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. So she probably knows he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Wow, rough
Yeah.
start.
And the producers later asked Mario, he's so oblivious, okay? They're like, why did you decide to come on the show? And then he was like, because someone told me that she was coming onto the show, and there were so many guys that were going to go on dates with her, and then I started feeling jealous. Yeah. My father is also the king of dancing. I mean, that's not the only thing he's the king of, but okay, I would hardly call him the king of dancing. And my parents fell in love through dancing. Okay, which, like, calm down. That's like his fourth wife, okay? I know they're in love, but like, not the fucking time, Mario. Like, not the fucking time. It's a little much right now. And you know, and my father got my mother, right? And it's like, again, he's a billionaire. He probably could get a lot of people. I feel like. I'm just saying, okay? So, and then he said, so in my opinion, I think dancing was the most effective way. That's why I set up the date like that. I don't think that's how your dad got your mom. You're living in a bubble, but that's okay. That's okay. So they have to go on a date now, and Mario looks over the moon. Ming-Chi looks like she's gonna fucking get tortured by like the CIA, that she's getting held captive in like an enemy state or something. It's just really...
You could say this is enemy to lovers,
yeah.
yes?
And so they have to introduce themselves. Like the show is like, please reintroduce yourselves to each other for the audience. And Ming-Chi goes, hello, my name is Ming-Chi. I'm 28 years old. I'm your sister's friend, and I'm from Shanghai. Mario goes, hello, I'm Mario. I was born in Hong Kong, but I live in Macau. I study in the States at MIT. That's why a lot of people say I'm like Iron Man, because Iron Man also graduated from MIT. I am 22 years old.
No way!
And I am Sabrina's younger brother.
No way! He's 22!
Yeah. And the minute he
that's
said...
actually crazy. She's 28?
Yeah, which is... okay, we say that because in China, it's a huge age gap.
That's huge. Huge.
And so the moment he said Sabrina's younger brother, Ming-Chi was so done with this. She looks like she's trying to walk away. She's like, okay. Like, it's already weird enough that you've been trying to go on a date with me, but now you're, like, genuinely, you have cemented in my mind that you are just my friend's younger brother. So she's like, this is,
Wait, but this is the show that they fell in love, yes?
Yeah, and then
Oh
she's
my
just like,
God.
he feels
So
like an
good.
accessory. Like, he doesn't feel like a real human. So she's explaining to the producers, like, when you have friends and they have younger brothers, they're just accessories to your friends. Like, they don't have their own lives. It's just like, your friend is the main person and they're just like an accessory, like a side character. And, you know, like, and now I have to go on a date with an accessory. I'm so, like, I don't even know what to do at this
Dude.
point. And so he keeps, like, trying to call her Princess Peach because he's Mario. And then she's like, I hate the word princess. It's really unrealistic. I also don't really like unrealistic and over-exaggerated things in life. Like, she's very pragmatic, okay? And at this point, little does she know.
Wow, she is actually so different from
Yeah.
like what I thought
I know.
she would have been.
And
so
so
she sounds like kind of blunt and straightforward. And,
very realistic, very logical,
Yeah.
you know, and she's like, I'm a very realistic person. And little does she know that she's about to start living one of the most over the top, exaggerated lives ever, all because she falls in love with motherfucking Mario. Okay. I don't even think she wanted to. It was like not her choice. It was definitely fated mates, maybe. So she's just not on board with this idea. She doesn't like it. She doesn't like the age gap. She doesn't like the fact that Sabrina's, you know, like she just doesn't like it. She doesn't like it at all. So after that, she gets a little letter that she has to, like a text on her phone. And it says from the producers, if you like him, pin him against the wall. If you don't like him, pinch his cheeks. And Ming-Chi looks really confused. I think that she doesn't really also want to reject him on national television either, because she is nice. She's blunt, but she doesn't like to like be mean, right?
Yeah.
So she just looks really conflicted. And Mario's like, you have to do something, right? Like some sort of challenge. And she says, yeah, I have to pick a prompt and perform it. He said, okay, well, when I'm taking my exams, my teacher told me if I don't know the answer, just pick C. And she's like, there's no C. It's just A and B. And then he goes, then just pick A. So she goes, okay. And she like looks around and she finds a wall. And she's like, come. But then like, you know, when she's gesturing, come, it's kind of like when parents are like gesturing to their kids. It's like, come here. It's not even like, come. It's like, come here. Just come here. So then he walks over and in his eyes, he's got like heart eyes and she looks like, what are we doing, right? She's like, we're just going to stand against the wall. Just stand here. Just stand here. I'm going to perform the action now, okay? Yeah, sure. So am I supposed to do something? And as he says that, Ming-Chi takes a step forward, looks him in the eyes, put her hands on the wall, and leans in slowly so they're close to each other. And you can just see Mario like about to fucking have a whole heart attack. He's like falling in love with her. And like this moment is like, he's like he's paralyzed. He doesn't know what to do. And then Ming-Chi looks over at the producers and goes, am I done? Okay, I'm done. And he's still looking at her with so much longing. He falls first. And he falls harder. That's the trope. And you can tell that he's so affected by it, but he's trying to play it cool. And he's like, oh, that's it? Yeah, just to pin you against the wall. Oh, okay. Should we go down and have some food then? So this is their first date and they're like going down to eat food and Ming-Chi just looks like she's not into it at all. And she even tells the producers like, it's just, I don't know what's going on. And Ming-Chi's very vulnerable. So she's telling the producers like, I also don't know if he's just like doing this as a bit.
Yeah, like if this is a real dating or this is all for a show, TV show.
And also because he's such an over-the-top personality, it's like hard to tell if he's just like, you know those people who go through phases in life and they're just like, oh, I'm obsessed with this person, and then they're just like over the top about it, and then they're like over the fixation and then they move on. So she's like, I don't really know what's going on. So they're eating food and Mario is still talking about calling her Princess Peach, and his reasoning is pretty funny. So he's saying it's like, you know, Princess Peach gets kidnapped by Bowser over and over again, and Mario has to keep saving her. Like, that's the whole point of Super Mario. Like, kidnap, save. And, yeah, so that's why you're Princess Peach, because Princess Peach will keep getting kidnapped by the monster over and over and over again, and I can't let her get kidnapped, right? Okay, so then she's like, well, I don't really fucking like this nickname. So then he gives her a different nickname, which is Xing Xing, because it means star in Mandarin. And you know, in the games, you like Mario powers up with the stars so he can feel invincible. So then he's like, can I call you Xing Xing instead? And then she's like, I mean, if it's a nickname you're giving me, as long as it rolls off your tongue, I guess. And then he's like, okay, great, Xing Xing. But then here's the problem, okay? Sabrina, her nickname is Xing Xing. So,
yo, this is crazy.
So Ming-Chi is like, it feels like you're calling me like your sister or something. And he's just like, oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, and when I look at you, it just reminds me of your sister. And then he's like, why do you like to bring up my sister so much? And she's like, what do you mean, okay? And then she tells him straight up, in my world, you don't exist as an individual. You are an accessory. And then he goes, I'm an accessory? Can you imagine calling a billionaire heir? You're just a side piece. Like, you're not a person to me. You're nothing. Like, what's going on?
This is crazy.
And he's like, okay, well, I gotta not be an accessory. Like, I need a clear identity. So he decides that he's going to make her fall in love with him. It's just like they have all these weird moments. So then they start taking Polaroid pictures of each other. And I love the fact that she just keeps rejecting him ruthlessly on television. And he's still just so obsessed with her. He's like, literally, there's no angle you don't look good. Like, how am I taking all these pictures of you and you look fucking so good in every single picture? It doesn't even make sense. And then she's just like, are you gonna send these pictures to your sister or something?
Wait, this is so fascinating.
Yeah.
Like so he's that happy, you know the trope? Like there's
Yeah.
a happy one and then there's a
Grumpy
really
sunshine
grumpy.
trope.
So he's the sunshine and she's grumpy?
Yeah.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, and I love it for them.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like it in my books. I don't like my men too sunshiny. I'm like, what's so fucking funny? What's fucking funny?
Your face.
'Cause it's not fucking funny right now. Life has been stressful. Stop laughing. Okay? Yeah, it's that trope. And then he's like, okay, well, why don't we do this challenge? If I ever take a blurry photo of you, you can make me do whatever you want. So, like, I'll get on my knees and be like, you are the coolest person ever. Like, just like random challenges. And then she's like, okay. And then he takes a photo of her and he's like, oh, it's not blurry at all, right? And then he shows it to her and she's like, what? And he's like, look, you can still see your eyes, nose, and your lips. And then she shows it to the camera and she's a fucking blob. She's a potato. She's like, look. He's like, look, I can see how many strands of hair that you have. And he's even asking the producers, like, do you guys think it's a clear photo? Do you guys think it's a clear photo? Like, I'm not gonna accept defeat. And then he's like, you know what? I will accept defeat. So
I think he just wanna.
Yeah.
What is it? What's
He
the
wants to do the punishment. He said, mommy, punish me.
Yes.
Yeah, and then afterwards, he wants to extend the date. And, like, you know, when you're on a date and they keep wanting to extend it, and it's like, what? Now you're just going all over town. And it's like, what are we doing right now? He's like, let's go buy a dog.
Go buy a dog.
They just met a few weeks ago, like 2 months ago, and this is their first real date. And he's like, let's go buy a dog. And she's like, what do you mean, let's go buy a dog? And he's like, well, you have a dog. And I want something in common with you, so I'm going to go buy a dog.
my
Do you
God.
want to come with me to go buy a dog? Now, normally I would really heavily frown upon this, but I think he would hire someone and that dog
Oh,
would
yeah.
live the best life ever. So
The billionaire
it's fine, yeah.
mentality. Let's go buy. You live in an apartment. Let's go buy an apartment.
You know, that's the crazy thing. So he was on this other show where he was showing off his esports gaming facility, and he had just hired this new esports gamer, and he came into the dorm, because I'm telling you, it's a sweatshop. No, I'm just kidding. He came into the dorm, and then he's like trying to fix stuff, and Mario is letting him adjust, and he's like, oh, who's your favorite esports player? And he lists someone, and that's like basically saying, I love watching Erling Haaland play football. And then he goes, oh. He pulls out his phone and is like, hey, can you come train one of my new teammates? And Erling Haaland shows up. Not Erling Haaland, but the Erling Haaland of esports. And his name is June, the new esports guy he just signed. And you just see him progressively fall in love with Mario. Another day, he's like, oh, wait, the Wi-Fi is really bad in this room. I have to go to the other room. And Mario goes, oh, really? Let me have someone come fix it. And he calls someone to come fix it right now. And everyone said, whoa.
Damn. The
Is-
books are real.
This is what it looks like to like date someone so competent. June, it's like June looking at him like, wow, competency. So yes, he's like, let's just go buy a dog. And then he's like, what are you she's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I don't really have a plan, but let's just go buy a dog so that we can have a common interest. They go to the pet shop, right? And they go buy a dog, and she seems a little bit more, calm around these pets now, and they end up picking a dog.
He gets it?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it's very interesting because when they walk in, all of the puppies are so cute, and then he goes, wow, all of them are so cute, it's going to be hard to choose one. And Ming, she looks at him, and she looks genuinely, like, concerned. And she said, oh, you think all of them are cute? So you're kind of like a player. And you just see Mario, MIT brain, like, beep, 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 beep. And then he goes, I don't think all of them are cute. I just didn't want to say it to their face because they're so young and fragile. And so everyone is thinking it's so cute. Like this whole ordeal is so adorable. Ah. So then they go back to his house and they bought all these dog supplies. He's trying to like assemble the dog fence and it's not working because he's never done something like that. So Ming-Shi has to do it. And he's looking at her like she just solved the equation to how to get to Mars. Like, whoa, you know how to fucking put together IKEA? Holy shit. This is like a common thing in their relationship where she does something a normal human does.
Yes.
And he's like, holy f-
Yes. I've seen those.
who
clips.
can do that?
Yes.
Only you can do that. And then he decides that he's going to show his affection and gratitude by out of nowhere. So she takes a rest on the couch. Out of nowhere, he jumps from the second floor glass railing onto the couch like fucking Spider-Man. Okay, and he's got a rose in his hand, and she's screaming like, "Are you sick in the head? Why did you just do that?" And he's like, "This is for you." And she's like screaming, like, "What is wrong with you? Like, why did you do that? That was so weird. Like, that scared me. That gave me a heart attack." But like, thank you, I guess. And she like takes the rose, and she's just so shocked. Like, it's a literal jump scare. And she, like, he has to be like, "Are you okay? You seem like really like scared about that." And she's like, "I mean, my heart just stopped beating. That was so scary." Like, I think she thought he fell, right?
Yeah.
But then he proudly tells the producers, from now on, no matter which guy gives her a flower, it'll never be as cool as that. It's just so bizarre.
That's so weird.
But he's actually really talented. So in the car, they were listening to one of Ming-Shi's favorite artists, listening to like a song, right? And he said, "You want to know a really cool talent I have?" And he goes to the piano and he starts playing the instrumental to that song. And he says he has this really cool talent where he can technically like listen to a song once and get a general idea of how to play it on the piano.
Bro.
Yeah, and she like this is when
crazy.
she starts falling a little.
Ah!
Yeah, like you can just tell like, whoa, she's like really immersed into the song because not only it was her song that she wanted to play him because he was asking what song she likes. So it was very thoughtful. It's not even just like, "Here, watch me play the piano, let me show off."
Yeah.
But it was like really, it was really cute. It was really cute.
Well, their story is
Yeah.
for the books.
Then they had him go break up a date that she had with the other guy, the older guy. Yeah, so the producer sent him in to go pick up Ming-Shi from her date with the other guy, the older guy, right? And so he had introduced Ming-Shi to his friends, and they're all sitting in a private restaurant room, and he knocks on the door, and he's like, "Can I come in?" And Ho, who is the older guy, he just is like looking at his friends, and they all go, So they're not even, like, they're being rude. Ming-Shi didn't really know how to, so she's like in an uncomfortable position too because it's like really weird. And then one of them is like, "Oh, well, I guess you guys can play rock, paper, scissors, and if you win, you can come in." So it's just like really just, the whole thing was odd. And so they let him in and they start playing these little games and they have to take punishments where they drink Coke, like Coca-Cola. But Ming-Shi doesn't drink Coke. So the guys are taking turns doing the punishment for her. So Ho is doing the punishment for her, and then the next time it'll be Mario doing the punishment. And it's just, I mean, she was not very good at the game, so they're just like downing carbonated beverages nonstop. And like the whole ordeal was just uncomfortable, and it's just really, it was just not a fun time, right? But I think where it really gets crazy, Ho had drinking a lot of Coke, and so Ming-Shi is like covering the Coke and is like, "Oh, no, it's okay. Like, I can just drink water or something for the punishment. Like, you drank a lot of Coke today. Like, just please don't drink anymore." So she's like turned towards Ho and blocking the like cola glass so that he won't drink it.
Yeah.
And this is when Mario genuinely starts looking a little annoyed, but he doesn't look like very pissed off.
Wait, why is he annoyed?
He tells the producers like, "It's just fucking Coke." So he's just getting jealous, okay? He's just getting jealous. He's like, "It's just fucking Coke, okay? God, are you drinking poison or something?" And so he was originally going to leave with Ming-Shi, but he decides not to. So Ho is going to take her to the airport because they were going to fly to a different city for filming for this show later together. Anyway, so they end up meeting up at the airport. And it was just like a really uncomfortable moment. And it almost felt like Ming-Shi was choosing Ho a little bit more than Mario.
Oh.
Whether it just be because she was initially on the date, so she felt like she had to see it through without being rude,
Yeah.
or whether she felt like a spark with him. It didn't seem like she had a spark with him, though. It felt more out of like politeness.
Yeah.
But I think Mario took it as like just very. I think this was like, oh, okay, like maybe she doesn't like me. So the next day, they go on their little date together and they decide to go to a shop where they can write postcards to each other. And the shop can send it out a year later. So they can send it to themselves, they can send it to whomever, but it's going to be a year later. And like the whole thing is very uncomfortable because like Mario looks a little, like he's not making her uncomfortable, but you can tell he's not as like goofy as the day before. So he just seems like a little more guarded. And at one point, the producers pull her into a production room and they have this screen of Mario in like the main area of the cafe. And Mario's getting water, and out of nowhere, a girl suddenly bumps into her, causing him to spill water all over the floor and all over the girl. And he's like, "Oh my God, so sorry, I didn't even see you. And he starts wiping the water off the girl's coat. And for the sake of accuracy, this girl is booby, right? And the water is near her booby. And like
Is
the
this a
coat.
setup?
Just watch,
Is this a
okay?
setup?
Just watch, okay? And then the girl is like, "Are you okay?" And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. You know, I should help them clean up though. I'll go wash my hands." And he's like, "Okay." So afterwards, she wants to come sit down next to him, and she's like, "Oh, are you writing a postcard?" And Ming-Chi, as she's watching this, she's just like laughing because she's like, wow, this girl is super direct. And then she's like, "Oh, I know who you are. Are you Mario Ho? I admire you so much. I think you're so handsome." And he's like, "Thank you." And Ming-Chi is just giggling. She's cackling, okay?
What? Means she's not jealous at all?
No, she doesn't
Oh
look
my
jealous
God.
at all. Okay, she
That's
just
so
is like,
sad.
and she keeps like pushing her boobs out, and so she's just like, okay. And then the girl is like, "What are you writing?" "Oh, I'm writing a postcard. Can you help me write one?"
This is crazy.
You dirtied my clothes just now. Like you spilled water on me. I guess I can write you a postcard. And that's when Ming-Chi is no longer hee hee ha ha anymore. Like instant. She's like,
Oh,
okay.
Like just like that, he folded.
uh-huh. Is there anything you want me to write in particular? Maybe like your first impression of me. My first impression of you? Okay. Thank you. And now Ming-Chi looks fucking pissed. She's not smiling, and all the employees look a little scared. They look a little scared. The producers are next to her, and they're like, and they're like, you know, this girl is really pissing Ming-Chi off. Well, Mario's really pissing her off because the girl is like, "Do you think I can get your WeChat?" And Mario goes, and he starts looking around, and he gives her the WeChat.
Oh shit.
And Ming-Chi rolls her eyes, and she looks like she's ready to fucking go home.
Oh
They
my
also take
God.
a picture together, and Mario has his arm around her, and he looks happy. He's leaning in, and Ming-Chi she's over it. She's fucking over
What
it.
This is crazy.
The girl is like, "What are you doing later?" And he's like, "I'm not really doing anything later." "Oh, really? Okay, you're not really doing anything later? Then let's go grab food." And then he's like, maybe. And he says, "Maybe tonight."
They're messy.
So she's just like, "Okay, got it."
This is like what kind of camera? Like a secret cam or?
No, the producers, you know, because they all have their like equipment, they have their sound on. So like they pulled her into the producer room in the back, and then they have this screen, I guess like for the producers to watch the camera angles.
Yeah.
But then she's watching it, and she's not leaving now. So she's like, okay. She looks like she's about to explode.
Where are they? At the airport?
No, at a cafe. And so the producers are like, "Do you feel anything when you see him do this while he's on a date with you?" And she says, "I think he can do whatever he wants. I'm not mad." And I'm like, oh my God, she's fuming.
Yeah,
She's ready to kill somebody. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, if I met someone like Mario for the first time and they asked me to grab food, I probably wouldn't. Like, it's just so sudden. And the fact that this is how he does things, like, I guess she's trying to say, not saying the girl is weird, saying like our dating styles are just different.
Yeah.
Like, we're not really a match then, right? And so she just looks like every single pore in her body is rejecting Mario now. Yeah. And she's like, ugh. But she has to go back out there. So she goes back out there and she doesn't say anything. She's like, "Oh, are you done writing?" "Yeah, I didn't have anything to do just now, so I wrote mine already."
What is happening right now?
And they're like, "Oh, what did you talk to the producers about?" "Nothing. They just talked to me about work tonight." "Do you have plans for tonight?"
She asked?
No, he does.
Oh.
I guess the show. Oh, okay. So she's like really cold about this. She's upset, but she's not saying anything, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, "Do you want me to send the postcard on your birthday? When's your birthday?" January 12th. Then it wouldn't be a year from now. Whatever, you get it. Okay, let's go. So as they're heading out, he still does not say anything. He just acts as if nothing happened. And that is where I leave you with part 1. Okay, because part 2 is going to get crazy. They're going to discuss everything that happened. They're going to go on more dates. And you're going to see the escalation of their relationship. How will he come back from this?
That's wild.
I'll let you know in part 2. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next one.